Are you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.
Haha, welcome everyone. Sorry for the delay. We're still having an issue. I'm not showing up on Divine Androgen page or your page, Mama Cole. I don't know why. Mercury retrograde. So we are showing up on YouTube and in the group and on the Psychic Insights page.
That works.
And on a random page on Rainbow Souls page. But whatever. Okay.
It worked.
I'll share it on there in just a moment. So welcome everyone. I'm glad you're all here.
Everybody.
Kat says good evening.
Hi, Kat.
Good evening,
How
Brittany.
Are you?
Cheyenne.
Is it on your computer if I reboot and do? Okay.
All right. Hi, Shauna. Shauna, you're probably reaching too much.
Gotta chill, relax, do some grounding.
Let it come to you. Allow instead of.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice in the universe anytime you try to reach for something like that, it like moves further away from you?
Yes. The experiences we have had in the last since I've been gone has been insane because you couldn't reach. I just had to sit and allow the universe to do what it was going to do. Exactly. You can't control. You can't. And the messages that you receive when you try not to control and you just allow and you just be are profound.
So. Yeah. Hi, Chelsea.
But it's very hard because we're used to wanting to control and organize. And at least I am. I'm a Virgo Gemini. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah. Good evening, Mama Cole. I hope my little boy will come through today. All right. Hi, Makwa. Mama Cole. Makwa's been asking about you. So there you are.
Oh, but wait, hold on. I don't know how to do it. I'm doing better, but I got shots. But I just got I stopped wearing my brace Tuesday. Oh, I messed it up.
Just
good.
Tuesday.
Just Tuesday. Yeah. It's been like 3 months. I literally, what happened was I was making body butters and I was on an unstable table and I had a cat jump up and knock the whole thing off and I went to catch it and it was running and my hand went inside and around about 4 times. Yeah. And it messed up my thumb and the snuff box. It's called your snuff box right here. Yeah, there's like a little bone in your wrist. But I was really lucky because I had rings on and stuff. Like it ripped off my thumb and my finger here, but they couldn't believe it didn't rip my fingers off. Like I was extremely lucky. Very, very lucky. Most painful thing I've ever been through in my life.
Really?
Yeah, it was worse than mine. I've had neck surgery. I've had like spine surgery. This was much worse because it was like all the way up.
Maybe because of the nerve pain.
Yeah, and because it's mechanical, something about a machine, like it was stuck. I was surprised when I pulled it out. I thought my hand was gonna be mangled. It really wasn't as bad as I thought it could have been. So,
Yeah. Hey, Christine
hi, Christine.
and
so good.
Molly.
So yeah, it's been a journey and moving, and like there's just been so much going on. But now
Yeah, a lot
everything's
going on. Yeah, some people are coming out of things. Hi, Nelia.
yeah.
Well, Shauna, I think some things have changed. I don't think it's the same thing. It's just that some other things have happened as well. So I think
Yeah.
that's I think Shauna's having a Venus retrograde. I know I'm not having the greatest
Oh,
Venus retrograde. Venus, yeah, well, it's only retrograde till April, so hi Chaz and Kat.
yes.
Yep, I find that I can hear my husband more when I'm not trying. Exactly, Kat. Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I've had some profound experiences through. Part of the reason I wasn't here, also, my son was in a near fatal car accident, like just a freak wreck. The vehicle he was driving, the tire blew, and the vehicles are known when the tires blow that you can't do anything about it. You just lose control, throws you wherever, and he couldn't do nothing about it. He hit a pole, an electric pole, snapped it in half, and the power line went around the tire, cut the engine in half, and then flipped the car over on its top. He was so beyond blessed, lucky, whatever. And through that experience, like going there stuff, I've got a heart issue. He called us right afterwards. Mom, I wrecked the car. You got to get my wife to the hospital. And I was thinking she was in labor because she was 9 months pregnant and that he wrecked getting to her. No, he just wrecked. Like it was just crazy. But the presence of like my guides and stuff, like on the scene of as we were pulling up to the accident, we actually met him in the ambulance, and the ambulance pulled over before we saw the wreck. If I wouldn't have son before I saw that wreck, I would have lost. It was bad. It was insane. Like you wouldn't have believed that he walked away. And he did. He walked away. He's got a cut on his hand and just really bad. You know, he was shook up, but luckily he doesn't speed. Always wears his seatbelt. So yeah, crazy stuff. But the presence, like when I stopped trying to control stuff, and I was just like pray on the way there, just like, please let everything be okay. Please be with him. Keep us calm. My husband's driving us, and I'm like, please keep him calm. You know, like we did really good. Like I'm just the presence that is around you when you really need it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. Well,
it was crazy.
Hi.
And he also, what's kind of cool is he also during the wreck, he lost a friend 2 years to the date. His friend had passed from an overdose, and he said, "Mom, he was right there with me. I know he was there, Mom." Like right before the wreck. Crazy stuff. I was like, I believe it. I totally believe it.
Well, Evangelina, I want to say hi to Evangelina and Samantha and Donna, all in the group. Welcome. I see you guys in the group. I didn't want you to think I didn't see you. Yes, Donna, this is where we do live readings sometimes. And okay. Shauna said you're a tough cookie. I'm sorry that you lost in court yesterday, Shauna. That sounds really hard, and I just would keep trusting. You have to. You don't have any other choice.
You have to trust. I've been in your shoes. I'm in an RV. We went from our house of 7 years that we were supposed to be in forever to finding somewhere to live. So we got an RV ourselves. Like I get it, but it's actually the very best thing that's happened to us in a long time. And it was a lot of change. Like, so sometimes change is really good, Shauna. Okay.
Sometimes
it could be blessings in disguise that you're just not able to see right now.
All right. Yeah, there's so many things. there's lots of intensity going on, and this year is probably going to be hard for a lot of us, with all this Aries energy that's about to come up this summer. So Shauna thinks she's not getting anything. I'm sure she's getting something. She's probably just not seeing it.
I think a lot of it, Shauna, is the stress that you're going through. So how could you?
Right.
It'd be very hard to be open to receive when you're having so much stress and worry and
Right.
anxiety. I get it. I get it. That's how I've been the last 3 months, just trying to pack and sort. And I get it. And where are we going? What are we doing? But somehow, some way, it'll all work out. And it's usually to your very best, like for your better, like
Yeah.
for the best for your higher self.
Samantha said, "You're a
And we
tough
love
cookie, and we love cookies."
We're all tough.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me so Mama Cole, what are you doing today? Are you doing question and answer and readings, or
Sure. Yeah.
okay. So I'm gonna step out and you can get started then.
Okay. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and give me your questions and I'll do some mini readings. And also, I do want to let everyone know that I am on satellite, so I do have a little bit of glitches. Like if it freezes, if I freeze for like 5 seconds or so, just hang on. I will be right back. Okay. Any private time will appear in the corner of your screen. I don't know where I'm supposed to see the comments though. I can't see comments.
Yeah, because I'll put them up when they happen.
Oh, okay. So there we go.
So you might need to make it bigger. If you hit the little square in the lower right hand corner, it will make the
Yeah, I
whole
did
your
have
whole
it big,
video.
but that's why I thought I had to. There we go. Okie doke. I have not, Christine. Have I heard the emo song lately? What's really funny is any advice on how to stay high vibes when the world is falling? Yes. Yes, Kat, 100%, because the world has been falling apart around me. I get it. First off, Christine, no, I haven't heard my emu song in forever. And I thought about it the other day, too. I was like, I don't even know what that song was. A lot of times people that I work with, their spouses and stuff will give me messages through music and I'll hear the craziest stuff. And hers was this funny emu song. But no, I haven't heard it in a while. And okay, Kat, when the world is falling apart around you, the best thing you can do is exactly what Hollis said, is you just gotta, as hard as it is, you have to let go. You have to let go of the control and know that growth happens outside of our comfort zone. Okay, change is actually really good for us. We're not meant to be stagnant. As human beings, we used to be migratory. We used to move. We would travel. We would explore. For seasons, for hunting, for gathering, and things like that. So sometimes it's better for us to experience the changes, even though I'm a creature of habit. I'm very controlling. I'm very organized. I like things a certain way. And change is really hard for me. I just went through 7 years of stuff that I had stuffed into this little tiny house. And I had to prioritize all of this stuff. What did I really need to keep? What did I really not need? What no longer served me? And in life, when things are falling apart, release what doesn't serve you. Okay, what matters and what is for your highest good will stay. The things that no longer serve you, just let them go. At first, it's going to feel like the whole world's chaotic and, oh my gosh, but I have to. I can't do this. I can't. We panic as humans. Freeze or flight. I freeze. I close down the circles. I stop communicating. And I've realized over the last 3 months, because that's what I did, I stopped working, but I had to for my energetic, for myself, because I was unable to do all of the things. Realize that no matter what, you're human. Change is hard. And when the world's falling apart, it doesn't mean you have to be. Okay, you're able to, in 100 years, like honestly, I've heard this, in 100 years, does it really matter? Does it matter if you had to move from that comfy apartment that you're used to maybe rooming with a friend or something? Does it really matter in the long run? Whatever's going to happen will happen, but it is always for your highest good. Just at the time, it may not seem like it. And sometimes how you handle it is what's even better too. If you try not to control it, you just flow. Just flow. Okay, whatever will be, will be. And try not to think, this is a big one too. Try not to think the worst case scenario all the time. No. Because you can actually manifest that. If you think, okay, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. No, it's really not. Maybe you're just higher up right now. Okay. You want to see things in a more positive light. I started doing the mantra, nothing bad can happen. Nothing bad can happen. Like, seriously, I've already got health issues I deal with. I've already got this, and this. Nothing bad can happen. There's nothing worse that can happen. I'm okay. In the long run, I live a pretty good life. In the long run, I have the things that I need. I have a roof over my head. I'm comfortable. I have food. So just remind yourself of the things that you do have, not the challenges that you're facing. Because sometimes if we just make lists of all the challenges and all the hard times, it can be insurmountable. But if you look at all the things, I woke up this morning and I had clean air to breathe. I got to take a nice hot shower. The sun is shining. My car started first try. Look at it that way, not, oh my gosh, I woke up this morning, the pipes were half frozen. I had to thaw them out, things like that. So that would be my suggestion for you. And FYI, I have cats everywhere. So if you see them coming through, that's what's going on. Does Corey have anything to say? Shada. Ride the wave. You are to ride the wave, Shada. Don't give up. Don't freeze in fear. Okay. I feel you're going through almost exactly what I just went through. Releasing what no longer serves you. Maybe this is hold on. It's not happening to you, but it's happening for you. It really is. And I know right now you can't see a way out, but I guarantee a way will be provided. Okay. If you did win in court, you just appeal. Okay. Everything will work out for your highest good. And Corey wants you to just ride the wave. Just have faith. Okay. I know it's scary, but it can't be like Friday, you're just gone. Nah, that ain't going to happen. I feel that it'll be okay. Whatever will be, and you're going to be just fine. You can't freeze in fear. That's your biggest message. Don't freeze in fear. And I actually have a really good lesson about that I just learned with my wrist. I caught my wrist in a mixer, hurt it really bad, and I actually, this is what's really weird. I have severe childhood trauma that I suffered from ages 3 to 13. And I know I have issues with my body keeping score about that. Well, my doctor actually said I had to have a shot in the joint because I have a neurological condition that when my body is injured, my muscles and my my muscles and I just freeze. It just freezes. It was called some kind of syndrome. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, it's a neurological. When you get injured, your neurological system, not only do I have like overreactive pain receptors that I just freeze. And the same thing happened when I hurt my shoulder. It just froze. So I'm aware of that now. And I realize that's a trauma response. That's from my trauma. So realize some of your reactions right now are from living within trauma, living in fear and flight mode and survivor mode for so long. It's time to just breathe. Follow some of Hollis's meditations. Do your cards. Go outside, and I'm not sure where you live. I'm thinking it might be cold, so you probably can't go outside. See, I'm in Florida, so I'm like, go outside in the sunshine and get your feet in the ground. But if you can't do that, it's okay. You can use a potted plant. Ground with a plant. Talk to it. Rub its leaves. Play in the dirt a little bit. I know you'll survive, Shauna. You're going to be okay. So, does anyone else have any questions? I know we got lots of people here. I can do a few.
I'm bringing questions in from the group right now.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Hollis. Oh, and I was going to point out, I've been growing my grays out, and it's so freaking neat. Where my blonde highlights used to be, I have grays now. And I'm not used to. I used to always dye my hair. I was wondering, Mama Carl, as far as helping with investigations, is it mostly remote viewing, or what methods do you use? Okay, Samantha. When I do investigations and stuff, I always first off ask the family's permission. There's lots of outsiders and stuff who want to help and everything, but it's very private, and I always have to be very careful when they're active investigations. What I do is, yes, I do remote viewing. First off, I contact the person who is missing or who is the center of the investigation. I will contact their spirit, soul, or whatever, and ask them if they're okay, what happened, if they know what happened, and can they show me. And then I'm usually, I communicate with them, and then I also visually do see the crime scenes normally. But what's really different is I have lots of medium friends. Some people see the actual blood, they see the act and things like that. My guides are very protective over me, and I think a lot of it is because of my childhood trauma. I very rarely see, I'll know what happened and I can describe it, like if they're dismembered or things like that, but it's always matter of fact and I don't see it. But I can tell them, and I can tell them where pieces and parts are, but I don't see that. But I will see the land, the buildings, the trees, grass. I can hear, usually, like I'll hear city sounds, water, if there's a school nearby. And I usually can see the assailant. I'll see their face. I'll see their face, their body type. I'm almost always spot on that. And I'm lucky as far as I have other friends who feel the victim's fear and anxiety and emotions. I don't get that. I just will, I do usually know, like, if they knew the person or if they were familiar. And what's wild is I also, like, sometimes the perpetrators, this is really weird, and I'm not really sure how to explain. Sometimes their crossed over family will also communicate with me. Like, say a murderer's mom is like, I tried to stop. Like, she's crossed over and she's like, I'm so sorry that my son did this. Like, she will show what he did. Or like, if the person is missing, there's times that they're missing and they're using. And their mother, who has crossed over, I've had this happen probably in 2 or 3 cases, either their mother, their wife, or like a sibling or something who has crossed over will actually show me where they are and what's happening, because they're so far into the drugs and the life, like they're in they're in a crack house or something like that, then these people, their loved ones are able to show me and help me show where they are. And I have cases that I've worked on for like years that the people still haven't been located, but I know they're alive. Like it's really difficult. But yeah, that's my experience. So it's remote viewing and psychic medium work also. I do kind of all of it. I pulled a card on this the other day and got the weight of the world is not yours to carry. At least not yours alone. I love your response. Yeah, exactly. It isn't yours to carry at all. That's heavy. I believe in turtles, and turtles are always symbolized as carrying the weight of the world. That's why their shells are so big and so large and why they live so long. It's not your responsibility to carry the weight of the world. You're only in charge of your inner circle. If it's really not happening in your living room, and in 100 years, does it really matter? Do you know what I mean? Just be in charge of what you're able to. Is it common for families to stop talking after a death? Oh my gosh, Donna, yes. Yes. Oh, I've got to share what has happened to me. Yes, Donna, this is so common. My mother passed away a year ago. My mom and I were in a strained relationship. She was my abuser. Her fiance sent me the majority of her ashes in August. I had my own release then. He had planned a spreading of the ashes on this Sunday, right? So we were going out to dinner and everything else. And this is, mind you, 3.5 hours away on the other side of Florida. So we had all planned and we're going, but I really don't want to go. Like I really was trying to find a way to get out of it. Well, he texted me right before I started this live tonight saying that they're moving the time up till tomorrow at 11. Well, everybody works. Nobody could go. So I just got out of it. So it's very common for families not to talk after death. I've seen so many, when my papa passed, and families get extremely greedy. A lot of them want. A lot of them won't speak because sometimes it makes the grief even more. Like sometimes loved ones remind others of the ones who passed. So sometimes that's why. And sometimes families just suck with death. And it's just the reality we all have to face. Sometimes people and things weren't the way that we perceived them to be. And sometimes that reality is, in death, is just really shown a little bit more. But it doesn't mean that the person who passed isn't good. Do you know what I mean? It just means that the family dynamics are changing and everybody just has to find a way to deal with the grief. And we all do it differently. Some of us shut down and close off. Some of us are able to communicate. And some of us, like some of them that common. That's very common. So just hang in there. Can you get any messages for me on the next move? On what the next moves are? I really want to trust the process, but I have bills to pay, so I got it. Keep hustling, even though I can barely stay afloat. Kat, you're not alone. A lot of us right now are in your exact same shoes. Can barely stay afloat. Trusting the process. Just keep going, Kat. Let's see any messages for you. Okay. Make sure you are following your divine purpose. Everything else will fall into place. And I believe that's what you're doing. And right now you're facing some backlash. Not all. I'm getting, Kat, that you're more into like a healing position. You're more a soul like me. Like, you know, you're the journey that you are taking is as energetic healer or coach or something like that. You must continue this soul purpose that you are on, this path that you are on. But realize, of course, there's going to be opposition. Of course, there's going to be challenges. Of course, it's going to be difficult. Nothing worthy is easy, right? Not only that, darker forces and things don't want you to succeed, of course. And I'm not just saying like entities or evil or anything like that. I'm just saying you have a balance of yin and yang in the world, okay? Whenever there's good energy, there's always going to be an other energy trying to balance it, trying to maybe even just push it a little. And not all of our journeys, like not all of our healing journeys is all about love and light. Sometimes our biggest lessons are in the dark. Sometimes we have to fall. Sometimes we have to have these challenges, and just to see how strong we are. Sometimes it's just to teach our own lessons for us to keep hustling. Keep going. You're doing it. And I know that you're reaping some of the rewards. Maybe they're just slower than what you planned, and that's okay. Okay. And I'm also getting, you're going to find other financial avenues. So just keep going. You paint every day, but I'm not selling anything yet. I'm a catalyst. I know that. It seems that when folks are around me for any amount of time, they get an upgrade and I'm still here struggling. Okay. Then you need to. I'm tired of being tested. I get that. Well, then what are the lessons that you're supposed to be learning? Okay. If you paint every day, then there's something missing. What is it that you're missing with the painting? Are you painting and totally connecting? Is there more you really need to control your energy. You need to, I don't know if you work with Hollis. Hollis would be a great coach. Myself also, you need to balance your energy and focus your energy. Make sure you're not just giving your energy away to all these people and not using it for yourself. Yeah, I'm getting, you really are struggling. Like it's really hard. Kat, you're another one who needs to stop doing the same thing every single day and expect a different outcome. That's your message. Stop doing the same thing every day and expecting a different outcome. You have to start pushing those boundaries, going outside that circle a little bit. I'm not sure where you live. Maybe start painting in public somewhere so people see your work. Get more exposure. Just posting it on Facebook or just to your friends is not going to be exposure enough. And I get that you're an energetic worker. You're a healer of some kind. So the painting might have been your module at first, your method, but I believe there's much more. Start exploring what happens when you paint. What energies are you putting into it? You said you're a catalyst. People around you are upgrading. So you need to also. So start recognizing the energies in what you're doing. I've been listening to meditations every night. I've been trying to claim the income-based housing crisis team. Showed up at my house yesterday, so I hope they'll be able to help me. Of course. Shauna, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to. That's right there. They're already there helping you. That's wonderful, Shauna. Yes. Yes, that's fantastic. They will help you. There's so many wonderful programs. I've had lots of friends that I've been able to help get some of those programs. So yes, that's wonderful. Why do they come to you? How do they know to come to you? Who come to me? Oh, when I'm doing cases, I think that you're talking about like spirits and guides. When I'm doing cases specific, they come to me because I'm asking for permission and help for that soul's highest self, for their highest purpose. So any spirits or souls involved with that person or that soul will come to me. It's like I've opened an open line of communication so that I can help find and locate this person or what has happened to this person. If they are usually, like, if they're in an addictive state and they're not of their right mind, sometimes I can even tap into their higher self, because sometimes when they're in those states, their higher self is able to communicate, but they are not. So that's how I do it. And honestly, it's just a gift. It's something that I've done my entire life. I used to be a foster mom, and I did juveniles, straight out of juvie, teenage boys usually, from the inner city, and I lived in the country, and a lot of them would take off. A lot of them would run away from my house, often, at least 2-3 times a month. And I would locate them, usually within 5 to 10 minutes. I would call the sheriff department, and the sheriff, whoever was answering the call, what's funny was the 911 dispatcher was a friend of mine, and she'd be like, "Okay, Cheryl, where are they?" And she would get a police officer on the phone, and she's like, "Okay, just follow her instructions." And I could see, because they're my kid, they lived in my house, I could see right where they were. And we would catch them usually like within 15 minutes. And we were in the hills of Ohio, like in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, it was really funny. So that's just what I did. Do our past family members know what is going to happen in our futures? I always wonder what my maternal grandma knows. I don't believe so. I don't think so, because I don't always feel that our futures are completely destined. I do feel that our freedom of choice is big. We can change our paths and our destiny at any given moment by the choices that we make. Now, I know that our star charts, because of Hollis's influence, I do know that that is like our roadmap and our guide to make our choices and things like that. But I don't really think, I know, like, I don't think that they see our future like way far in advance, but I do know that they are involved, like if we have wrecks, or they can help avoid things. I just nearly was in a wreck with a semi like 2 days ago going to Gainesville, but luckily I was very attentive. A semi brakes just locked up in front of me, like 2 cars in front of me going 65 miles an hour. There was a field beside me, and I right away knew. I was like told, go to the field. I went right to the field and was saved. And I do believe things like that. Our guides, guardians, and our loved ones do intervene at times. So that's, yeah. I hope that answered your question. It's kind of like a twofold answer. Okay, Donna. I have always had dream of things that will happen. It does. What is that called? That is premonition. I also get those prophetic dreams, is what they're called. Do you also fly? Or as a child, did you fly at night also? That's also astral travel. As far as the prophetic dreaming, there's different types. Almost everyone has had a form of deja vu. Okay, that's just little glimpses of like your future, like where you're like, oh, I know this. I've been here before. What is that? Okay, that's the deja vu. Prophetic dreaming. The most profound one I've ever had was during the Persian Gulf War. I worked on a cruise ship, and my mom was in Kaneohe. Sorry, I forgot the name of the book, but she was in Kaneohe, and I did not get TV. I didn't get the news or anything like that. And I had a dream, and I had told my mom my dreams my whole life. And most of the times they would, when I'd had these profound dreams, they would come true about a month or month and a half later. Well, I told her about this dream, and this was before we went to war. I was like, Mom, I keep seeing these things, and I don't know what they are. They look like bombs, but I saw them like 4 of them at a time going like this, like these orange flares coming down and like from 2 different directions and like showering down. And I kept telling her that. I'm like, they're orange, it's at night, and it's really bright, and it looks like bombs, but I don't know what it is. And I had this for about 2 weeks. And my mom called via the satellite phone in the middle of the night one night, and they called me up to the bridge and stuff. And she goes, Cheryl, you got to watch the news. As soon as you get to port, you got to watch the news. on the news that night was when we had bombed Baghdad. I had seen it. So prophetic dreaming is very real, and it was exactly what I described. This was the first time I'd ever seen something on like national news from one of my dreams, but I'd had experience like this most of my life. I did the same thing with COVID. I knew about COVID 3 months in advance. I had our entire house stocked, piled, everything. We were ready for COVID 3 months before the world knew about it. It was really weird. So, Donna, I want you to please make sure that you pay attention to these dreams, especially in these trying times right now. The world's really crazy right now, so please pay attention and share those dreams. This is a great safe space to share the things that you're dreaming here. We'd love to hear them. All of my artists channeled. I have a coach. Beautiful, beautiful. I'd say definitely keep going with that energy. Haven't had a repeat day in months. I am part of a gallery, but nothing has sold yet. It will. It will. Nelia, any messages for my ex-husband? Please, he left this world suddenly. No one told me he had passed, and I never got to go to his funeral. I'm so sorry, honey. I'm devastated. I still love him and miss him dearly. His brother won't even get him a headstone. I think I feel him around me. You know you feel him around you, Nelia. Of course he is around you. Love of his life. Yeah. He loved you too. I just get, maybe you guys weren't there. He was your ex for a reason. You didn't have the healthiest of relationships. And sometimes it takes death for us to appreciate the love that we had. Like, he really appreciates you now. And he apologizes for the things that he did and said. I get he was not a healthy husband. That you kind of might possibly have like a little bit of trauma bonding. Like, he may have not been very nice and not been kind with his words. That doesn't mean that he didn't love you. It's just that he was traumatized, and he is expressing to me his love for you. And then now he understands. He didn't understand your gentleness and your tenderness and the way that you loved him. I get he was a very proud, manly man. And he's very humbled by your grief. He says it's very profound. He's profoundly humbled. And I've suggested this to a few people. I know how difficult it is to not be able to grieve, but you have to realize no one is in charge. His brother isn't in charge of your grief. His family, no one is in charge of your grief but yourself. You can take charge. You can release anything in the wind that you want. You can make an herbal blend and release it as if it's him. Make your own ceremony ritual. You can plant a plant and have that, on your porch or in an area that you nourish and water and grow, and you can speak to it each day. You can also just have a few moments each day with a cup of coffee and talk to him. And you do feel him around you. I feel he has a debt to you. He has a karmic debt to you. And it's because he took your love and devotion for granted. And he wants you to know he is okay and he is in a much better place. And no, he did not suffer. Yeah, his death was very sudden and it was tragic, but he did not suffer. And if anything, he says it was freeing. His life is so beautiful now, and he is seeing things in a different light. So I hope that helped you, Nelia. That was absolutely beautiful. And some of those messages are meant for others here too. Makwa, I haven't been able to do any beading or moccasin making for a couple years now. 100% blocked. Why? What can I do to clear it out, please? You need to, Makwa. Your ancestors are calling you. Okay? I'm not sure what's blocking you. Your hands, you need to be tending to your hands with lotion. If your hands are having issues like pain or anything, magnesium lotion works wonders. You also need to definitely be cleansing. I'm not sure if you use rustic sage. I use sage a lot, but you need to be around you. You need to get back to your roots, sweetheart. But I get the beading and the moccasins is very ancestral.
Yoga.
I'm just connecting that she's there's connections that you need to make. They're there. I get like motherly, grandmotherly, like your grandma can help you. Call upon your ancestors for guidance and to help clear the blockages. I know beading and stuff tells stories. I'm not sure about making moccasins and stuff, but I know I grew up around a lot of Navajos and like the blankets and the weaving of the blankets. And there's stories and stuff in there. So what story do you need to tell? And if you're not ready to do the beading or moccasin making, maybe there's a different ancestral craft that you should start instead. But definitely some grounding. As a wounded healer, I appreciate you, Mama. It takes one to know one, sweetheart. Death to appreciate what you had. My husband totally regrets a lot. I tell him, learn from your mistakes and do better. Exactly. Chelsea, any messages for me from my dad or spirit guides? Getting old is really crazy with these classes. Any messages for me from my dad or spirit guides? I've been searching for my true purpose in life. I feel that I am meant to do more in this life, but I'm feeling lost and lonely. Thank you. Chelsea, what are you waiting for? Yeah, your dad, big time. Wow. He's like, what are you waiting for? Life is to be lived, okay? Of course, you're supposed to do more. You're another one who needs to push those boundaries. You should not be feeling lost or lonely. You need to look around at what you have. Look at the family that you do have. I get your dad. You were daddy's little girl. You still are. And you still are the light of his life. You can't let your light completely go out. You can't feel. He doesn't want you to find yourself within someone else. The lost and lonely, you're not lost. You're right where you are. Do you know where you are? You're right there. I see you, Chelsea. You're right there. You're not lost. Okay? Lonely is perception. Okay? We're only lonely as we feel. It's hard to be alone with ourselves, but you're never alone. You have a beautiful dad in spirit, and you do have guides and guardians who will help you. Okay? They'll help you not feel so alone. Just have to tune in. Chelsea, with you, it's just about slowing down and not worrying so much. Okay, try not to control every situation or think that you're under a deadline. Chelsea, there's no deadline to life. Okay, you're allowed to make some mistakes and you're allowed to take your time. I get some kind of schooling or something that you're doing. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to take breaks. Just make sure you're not taking too long, okay? And our purpose and our past they do change. So if it was one thing 2 or 3 years ago, it's okay if it's different now. It's because you're growing and expanding, okay? So your dad wants you, he's showing me paths. Make sure you don't always overlook the overgrown path. Sometimes it's not the beaten path that you need to take. Sometimes it's the one that has the little vines and stuff on it that you need to just kind of move out of the way. Okay, Chelsea? So you're going to be okay. And your dad's there beside you. So just when you need to, just lean in and he will be there. I'm devastated. His family never told me he didn't pass, didn't go to his funeral. It's okay. You're better. Good. This way, you're in control of your grief. You found out on your own online. That's shocking. That's a horrible way to find out. So that in itself, the planting a memorial tree in his resting place, but I will do it. Yeah, do it near you. And I'm happy he said peace. I am happy to know he didn't suffer. I cry every day. You don't need to, well, you do need to cry. Tears are part of our grief, okay? But realize he's okay and you're okay. Okay, it's just the severance of a life. Like it's just the saying goodbye to their body, to what could have been perhaps, or what was. I'm getting it's for you more, Nelia. It's what was. And the shock. Yeah, the shock definitely would suck. Okay, it'd suck for anybody. And what a way to find out online. I'm sorry. That's how I found out about my mother too. So yeah, Makwa, you definitely need to contact your grandma. Okay. Birth chart reading, yes, that would help. That would definitely help. And I get a lot of smoke, like clearing, grounding things for you, like that. Teas. You need the earth, Makwa. Anything coming for me in love and work? Am I still in Javier's mind? Is he doing better now? Will I get a new job soon? Liddy. Yeah, it is Lydia. Javier is not a past person, I don't believe. Is he? Yes, your career paths are definitely going to open up. You're another one who needs to, it seems like our whole night tonight is about us letting go of control. Like going with the flow, let go of the control. If we let go of the control and we open ourselves up to the blessings of the universe, God, source, whatever you believe in, you just realize we're not really in control. Like think about the grand scheme of things. If you really think about it, we're all little tiny minuscule specks on a spinning planet. Are we really in any control? Like anything could happen. A meteor could take us out like that. Okay. Like if you look at the grander scheme of things, sometimes makes life a little easier. Realize nothing bad can happen. Even though we've been through horrible deaths, griefs, yeah, that's tragic and bad. But now we're on the other side. We know, if I don't share anything with you, I really want you to know without a shadow of a doubt that your loved ones do exist. They do live on. It's just in a different way. Their bodies are gone, but their soul and their spirit is thriving. They're learning lessons. They're reviewing their lives. They're seeing what they could have done better. I also believe some of them are making amends. Some of them have a karmic debt to us. My mother, I know, has a karmic debt to me because of the evil things that occurred in my childhood. There's no way that woman is not being taught. Like, there's absolutely no way. So please know that no matter what, you may not be in control, but you're going to be okay. You'll get through it, and you're never alone. You do have guides, you do have guardians, and I'd happily help you with your readings, with coaching. I can tune into the spiritual side of you. Like Donna Solis, if you've been having dreams and stuff, I'm sure you've had those your entire life. I do believe I did a reading with you too, and that I did see like some gifts, and there were familial gifts too. there's nothing to fear with tuning into those gifts, to learn more about it, to learn more from your guides and guardians. It's so enriching to live your life with their help and with their guidance. And there's nothing, I was raised very religious in per se, and just taught that some of the things were wrong and were evil, and they're not. God wouldn't give us a gift so beautiful and so profound if it was wrong. Okay, so leaning into guides and guardians, oftentimes you'll find some of them are angels. Do you know every single religion in the world believes in angels? So angels are not really in every spiritual thing, like everyone believes in angels. There's dark angels and there's regular angels. There's archangels. There's so many. But please know that no matter what, we're not in control, and that's okay. You're going to be okay. The divine and your higher purpose is always what's meant for you. Okay. I had a dream and saw a bright light in the window and asked Tommy, "Is that you?" Oh. And I started spinning and spinning. Oh, I love it. And then turned the whole window full of light. Was that my grandson coming through? Kathy, you don't have to ask me, sweetheart. Yes, of course. Of course. Experiences like that are absolutely divine. You saw a light in the window and then you started spitting. Yes, that was him lifting you up with his love and his joy, sharing just a glimpse of what he is experiencing. That is so beautiful, Kathy. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. And anytime that you find, anytime you doubt, you go, I think that was them. Nah, that couldn't be. Please know, yes. If you have to ask if that was them, 99.9% of the time, yes, it's them. Okay. About the deadlines, it's true for me. I will try to loosen up on that. Yeah. Take it easy on yourself, Chelsea. We're all human, okay? There's no, like, well, we all are getting out the same way. Like, none of us are just going to, what did the Mormons used to call it? Used to call it something. Transcend? Like where you avoid death. None of us are going to avoid death. We're all going to die. Okay. My sole like one of my purposes is to let you know the profoundness of death. Like I've had near-death experiences. The other side is fantastic. It's beautiful. It's warm. It's full of everything you could possibly imagine and more. But it's only there when it's your time. Okay, there's no rush. Now it's for us to live. Grief does make it hard and does make it difficult, but there are tools that you can use to get through it. And that's grounding, using your guides, your guardians, readings, coaching, things like that. These lives help a lot. Just hearing other people's messages, because a lot of the times they're not just for that one person, they're for all of us. So.
All right. Well, hello. I think that's pretty much quieted down now. So I figured it's actually perfect timing. We've been at an hour. So remember, everyone, if you have anything that you want to, any feedback you want to leave, you can leave it on Psychic Insights page or Mama Cole's page. You can also put a review in the group. And, you can always, of course, book with Mama Cole. There's her link right there. And the great thing is, I was talking to somebody today who's new to our group, to the mediums group, and she was like, oh, this is so much easier. I could just go to Psychic Insights and it has all the readers in one place. And I'm like, exactly. And that's like the best blessing, I think, of this whole thing and we all work
together.
Yeah, and it's like everybody just... Yeah, and like if you have an appointment with Mama Cole and she can't make it for like an emergency or something, I'm gonna call you or message you and I'm gonna say, hey, can we reschedule this to either a different time with Mama Cole, or is today really important? Do you want to see Sarah instead? Yeah. So like we can all fill in for each other and stuff, and you don't have to worry about it if you want to get a different reading. You want to get the same spirit with 5 different mediums, you could totally do it. That's how it
what I
works.
love. And the other thing too is I will not message you first ever. If you don't see it, the psychicinsights.life, it's not me ever. Like
Yeah,
if
and
if
this
somebody
and this
sends you a different
I
link or
can't
something,
yeah, I can't send you a friend request to Psychic
Yeah,
Insights because
I got
Psychic
one
Insights
too.
is a page. So you guys, those are scammers. I
Yeah, I
can't
got one
friend
too
request
yesterday.
you because it's a page. You can follow
Yeah.
the page, but I can't friend you because that takes a profile, a personal profile. Now Hollis
Yeah.
Taylor could friend you, but Psychic Insights can't because Psychic Insights is a business. So you should know that for future. If a business is friending you, it's a scam. It's always a scam. And real readers
I
will
actually got one
never
last
message
night.
you first. Like, I mean, if we're having a conversation here and you say, hey, can you message me the link to your website? Then I probably will.
Yeah,
But I don't want you will never be asked to send money on PayPal. All of our stuff
No.
is set up with a website. So you schedule online. So there's none of that weird stuff in Messenger. We don't do any of that. And that's how you know it's legit. If you're doing that, if you're sending someone money on PayPal as a gift, it's probably going to be a scam, you guys. So I just want to let you know that. So please don't get caught in that. I post in the group all the time. There are copycats of me, of Mama Cole, of our pages. Yeah, it's a constant. Facebook, sometimes I think it's Facebook doing it, but it's not. Because they're definitely scammers. They definitely do take advantage of people. And some people have come back to me. Sometimes I've been suspicious if it was Facebook because Facebook wants me to pay for the little verified thing.
Even when I had the verified, I was still getting it was still happening.
You were still getting them. That's what I keep hearing. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if that's gonna help.
No, it did.
Yeah, so I just wouldn't I just keep in mind that if it's a copycat, you're gonna know it, you know.
Yes.
I might like one of your reels or something like Bianca said, but I believe you, Bianca, it was probably a copycat, you know. I'm not gonna message you and say, hello, beloved, your loved one wants to give you. I'm not gonna do that. Never. And no reader from Psychic Insights will ever ask you to send money on PayPal. And if we do, it will be an odd situation. Okay. And so most of the time, we're going to send you to our website right there. And we're going to say, go ahead and book right there. Okay. And so that's how you know that it's legit. That's how you know. Okay. And just block them. Just don't even engage. Just block them. And especially if they have no friends, look in their history.
Like 2 followers. I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah, or look in their history. Look in their history of their posts because a lot of times you'll see the picture of, you know, a lot of times these guys are called Yahoo guys. They're in South Africa, a lot of them.
I've seen recordings with phones and stuff.
Yeah, it's their business. This is how they make money. They make money by scamming Americans. It's their favorite pastime. So just letting you know, don't do that, okay, friends? Just please don't I hate it when Bianca's like, yeah, that beloved stuff is dead giveaway. Right, because I'm going to be like, hey, Bianca, I heard what you were saying in the live, man. That really fucking sucks. Why don't you book right there, right? That's what I'm going to say.
I have a message for you from your whatever as a message for you.
Yeah. Good job, Kat. Yeah, just laugh at them. I usually sometimes mess with them a little bit, but just for my own amusement. But anyway, I hope all of you have a beautiful evening. And remember that.
It's so good to be back.
Good. I'm glad you're back, Mama Cole. It's good to have someone else up here doing It's great to have someone else up here doing the question and answer. You know, one night I signed on to do free readings and I almost never got to them because I was answering so many questions, and I was like,
I remember
man,
when
we need Mama Cole back.
when I was on break, I would see there was times you would go like 2-3 hours. I was like, holy cow. Yeah, just
Yeah.
answering questions. So yeah, I'm
Just
better, and I'll
answering
do
questions. I know,
yeah,
it's
I'll
crazy.
because
Well,
honestly, I think isn't a lot of it like what's going on with the planets that a lot of us are like really
yeah.
just having a lot of life.
Well, Mars was in retrograde most of the fall and winter, and now Venus has gone retrograde for a month. She'll be direct April 7th. But
Okay.
and then we have a lot of energy moving into Aries this summer. So that's a lot of conflict, but it'll probably be on a world scale. So it's just kind of and it could also be intense, like, like vigilantes and warriors, but we'll also see leaders that will show up that will be unbelievable, like just like,
Yeah.
wow, where did you come from? And the eclipse, what I would say about the eclipse is that I did a report on it. You can go watch the report if you want. There's a report on it on Rainbow Soul Astrology. There is a report on the eclipse. The eclipse is tonight, is a lunar eclipse, and you may have already felt it. Like, and that's the other thing. Sometimes you feel it like the day or so leading up to it, and some people feel it the day or so after. And usually with a lunar eclipse, you have an aha moment or a moment of, okay, I think I know the resolution to this. I think I know what I'm supposed to do here. So you might just have a revelation or something like that. And it could be related probably to your money. I don't know, how you're selling your paintings there, Kat, but Bright Hawk struggles with this too. Bright Hawk is an excellent artist. I don't know if you guys have ever checked her stuff out. But if you go to her website, brighthawkproductions.com, you'll see that she has like beautiful we call them crystal grids, right? So what we started doing, Kat, was we had to rethink it, right? We had to rethink the way she was painting. Like you can see that awesome painting right there with the rainbow aspens right behind me. Now that's great and everything, right? It's beautiful, but she had like 2 commissions, but that's not enough to pay the bills, right? You get what I'm saying, Kat, right? So like we had to rethink it, and now's going to be the time. So if something pops into your mind, or it has already passed, like in the last couple of days, hey, Braidhawk, can you hand me a crystal grid? And then what happens is, if something pops into your mind, like right now, or did a couple days ago, or does in the next day or so, follow that. That would be my best advice, because the crystal, like, these just popped into my head. Bright Hawk is a really great painter, and so she started doing these beautiful crystal grids that you can buy, put them on your altar, and put stones on them and direct your energy, right? And so these things are
gorgeous.
Like, here, check this one out. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Isn't that beautiful?
The things I could do with that.
Right. So here, you open your third eye and get connected. And then over here, you get grounded to the earth.
Yeah. Right? When people are talking about looking for ways to help, hold on, I'm freezing.
Yeah, you're freezing for a moment. Yeah. So this is a way that you can, just so listen to what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm. Those are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And then you add your stones to them to amplify the energies and the energies that you need. Like if you're grieving and stuff, definitely look, because there's so many stones. I don't know if you can see, I brought my huge, like, all my crystals are with me because they definitely utilize your crystal allies. Definitely. They can help you so much on your grief and your spiritual journey a lot. Yep.
I use malachite every reading, right? Okay. And so here's the thing, is that like you got one too, yeah. Is that like the eclipse, listen. That's the most important thing. Listen, so Chelsea said that the eclipse eclipse could cause headaches or vivid dreams. It could. And Chelsea, I'd pay attention. I'd be writing everything down. And I would be paying attention to any aha, or maybe you figure out how to deal with your headaches, or maybe you come across something. It's going to depend on where Aries is in your astrology chart of where it affects your life. But I'm pretty sure that this is like this is the time where we're going to come up with an idea. Something's going to come into our minds, some sort of solution, and then it will be resolved at the solar eclipse, which is March 29th. Okay. So the solar eclipse is 2 weeks away. And this is how it usually happens. We have a lunar eclipse, and that's where we get that moment. We get that aha, we get that thing in our mind. And then the solar eclipse happens, and we go, and we've fixed it by then. We've addressed the problem. So for the next 2 weeks, you're going to be probably trying to solve the problem, Chelsea. So whatever the problems are, you'll start figuring it out. And maybe the problem is your headaches, or maybe you have to listen more deeply to your dreams. Maybe you need to have a dream journal, huh? So, any of those things. Yeah. I feel pretty intense today too, Kat. Honestly, I do. And I'm not sure if it's like I'm having a problem that the doctors would want to put me on a seizure medicine that I don't want to be on. So I'm trying to take CBD with just a tiny bit of THC, because remember how I always explain that nerve pain in my mouth? So I've determined what it is. It's called trigeminal neuralgia, which is this nerve here. And it comes down here.
They have
I've done acupuncture, acupressure. I've done it all. I've done homeopathics. I've done herbals out my rear end. It is the hardest thing. And the only thing, so like just the other day I had the pain, so I started trying different things like every hour or so. And the one thing that consistently works is CBD. Now, when I look it up at the doctors, if you go to a doctor, if you go to a neurologist and get an official diagnosis, they would say, well, I know it's the right diagnosis. I'm a medical intuitive. It's just my thing.
Yeah.
And so if I go, and my doctor was like, it sounds exactly like trigeminal neuralgia, I'll give you a referral. I'm like, okay, I'll go to the doctor, but I probably won't take their med. Okay. But what they'll give me, I looked it up and I was like, oh, they'll give me a seizure medicine. And she's like, yeah, they'll probably try to give you a seizure medicine. Well, I was like, well, why don't I just use CBD? But I haven't been able to tolerate THC since I've been perimenopausal. So even just the slightest bit has sent me off into these fits where I shake and my heart races. So I've stopped doing it for many, many years. I was using it for headaches for a while, but now I'm going to return to it. And it turns out that this trigeminal neuralgia can also be migraines. Okay, so like this nerve, it's the same nerve that does all of this. And I might be able to get treatment with a cranial, but I'm still experimenting with things. But what I know for sure is that, and that just happened the other day, that the CBD, I know for sure it works. So now I'm trying to like dose myself 2 or 3 times a day. And now I feel a little weird, just a little bit, because I only have 2 milligrams of THC and like 30 milligrams of CBD. So it's like, it's mostly CBD, but you have to have a little bit of THC to treat this. And so for the CBD to work. So I'm and I live in Colorado, so it's a completely legal place. I went to the store today and bought some more CBD heavy tinctures. I have a tincture so I can control exactly how much I'm getting, because I was before doing these little gummies, and the gummies I can't control.
You can't do I always use the syringe. I got off fentanyl. I was bedridden on fentanyl for 3.5 years, and I got off fentanyl. My pain doctor, luckily, got me off of it using CBD. He was from the Keys and believed in CBD.
And and my doctor, she was like, oh, if that works, then that's what you should be doing.
I got hold on.
Yeah, you hiccuped. I'm just
There
gonna.
it goes. It's coming.
Okay.
There we go. But I would do a drop of the CBD, just like a needle drop, and that's how I got off fentanyl. And now, when I hurt my hand, you told me, I think it was, but I got RSO, and that has been a life changer.
I've used that before.
That's good.
Before I started to have a reaction to THC, but so now I'm trying to just go slow, and we'll see we'll see how it works, and
I
if
would
I can
look
just
at the
treat the
syringe,
mouth pain.
'cause
But
what
this
the
is what I
tincture
mean.
the tincture is diluted.
I
You know
know.
what I mean? If
Yeah.
you do the syringe, you can be in control. Like you can take a drop of it, put it in your own tincture, like in your whatever you want. You can put it in as long as it has that.
Well, so far it's working out the way I'm doing
Good.
it, and so we'll just keep
CBD
trying this way. It's kind of saved my ass, and this is what I'm saying, you guys, is like if something's coming up, follow it. And I tend to go through things astrologically before other people do.
Right.
Okay. So I tend, just because of it doesn't mean I'm better. It doesn't mean I'm faster. It just means I go through shit first. Okay. It's just an astrology placement. Makes me go through it fast. It's actually kind of annoying sometimes, but take advantage of what I'm telling you. I've just gotten a download of how to treat this mouth thing and how to do it really slowly. So take advantage of that. And if you're getting any downloads, listen, and then start working on how to resolve it, and know that you'll have it resolved by the end of by the solar eclipse, which is the 29th.
I love that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Kat, it looks like you're figuring it out, but maybe that's just what spirit wanted to give you so you keep going, you know? And maybe you have to change your approach, maybe you have to change something. So just keep your mind open. Like I said, you know, Bright Hawk struggles too. You seen how beautiful those things are. They're beautiful. And she's gonna have a show in April, so you know, and she's preparing. She's got a bunch of them sitting on the table. So, yeah, it does help with anxiety, Bianca. Yep. But for some reason, the THC, Bianca, was making me super anxious, and it would set me off, and it would make my heart beat really fast.
That does happen if you have episodes like manic or anxiety. THC can trigger certain strains too. Can trigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, it looks like everyone just be aware there is an eclipse today. So tonight. So you know it's happening right now. So if you're having any awarenesses or any things are popping open in your head, listen to those. Make sure you follow it. Any new ideas, write it down in your journal if you can't start it right away, and figure out when you can. Okay? So that's my biggest advice for the eclipse. And attack Cat.
She's like 12 and she doesn't like anybody. And we're in a little tiny space and they're all like, "What are you doing?" So she's having to be social.
Oh, okay. She's like, all right.
Yes, you're right. She's like,
I see her. I see her. All right. All right, everyone. Well, good night, everyone. And I hope you have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.
Are you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.